Oh, old people can't dance.
Welcome to Art Takes, where stupidity can't be fixed, but ignorance is a lifestyle. And come and join me in my lifestyle. And we got a special guest today. Oh, I'm John Lakey, and that's Art Supernet.
Hey.
We're using the wide angle, and we have a special guest today. Now he gets a speaking role, so he gets extra money. It's, contract.
Why does he get money we don't?
I guess because we don't have any money.
It's because we don't count. That's why. I decided to. Well, actually, we decided what we're going to do is from now on we're going to try to find a deserving person to receive the Chicken Award every week, for the simple reason that, like, politicians are always complaining about the rubber chicken they eat, at dinners and stuff.
Hey, I'll give you a wide shot again.
So I just figure, hey, what the heck? We'll award the rubber chicken, and it'll be a special prize for politicians, other people in positions where they do something just so lacking in thought that they deserve an award. So for the very first one, we would like to give this award to Donald Trump. You know why? Because he's finally going to Vietnam 55 years too late.
Oh.
So, Donald, welcome to the Choke Your Chicken. Just for you this week.
Yeah. Maybe we should give it to Jane Fonda too, because she went to Vietnam too, and she never fought for our side.
But she redeemed herself by doing that movie, Barbarella.
Oh.
Did you ever see that movie? Oh
Barbarella.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Certainly something to live up to.
Yeah, that's something I'll never be able to live up to.
Barbarella, no, I don't. Me either.
No, not in this lifetime.
and then later on in life, of course, she did some really, I just loved the movie Klute. I was so impressed with it. I thought she was so good in that. Just amazing. Now, you're running the board today, so maybe you better show people your face more.
Okay. And what I thought I liked of her was when she did Frankie and, I lost the other name. She's doing a show with Lily Tomlin on cable. And
Grace and Frankie.
And it is funny.
Very.
Lily Tomlin saves the day, of course. She's just really great. And Jane Fonda's able to play along with it because she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I could even work with Lily Tomlin and get an award.
When Lily Tomlin was on Laugh-In a million years ago, she used to do, The Machine Doesn't Like You Either.
Yeah, I screwed it up.
There you go.
There.
She used to do the Grosse Pointe Biddy, we'll say. Another B word, but the Grosse Pointe Biddy. And it's always stuck in my head because she did one little quickie sketch one time that said, "My garden club had to debate on whether or not we wanted to be equal with men. We decided against it. After all, why lower ourselves?" And I just loved that.
Well, the courts came out. Oh, yeah, thank you.
On-the-job training, folks.
Yeah, on-the-job training for me. The courts recently came up with a ruling that it was unconstitutional to just have the draft for men now, because equal rights for women means that you can be subject to the draft.
Which we don't have anymore. However, that's the wonderful thing. In fact, I guess you didn't notice, but I commented, equal rights, equal responsibilities. Of course, we're going to hear a lot about that because I said that now, but so what? Hey, we're not here for you. We're here for us.
Yeah, this is part of our therapy. Our psychiatrist has sent us down here. And
just before he got locked up. Well, you didn't think it was funny then. You weren't done with your session.
Yeah. I thought it was just if he got paid that he was happy, but you're right. He didn't think it was funny then.
Well, he can't pad his Medicaid bills if he's in jail.
Yeah. Anyway.
We're going to have to work on that finger, John.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little slow on the draw here.
You and
Let's stretch the finger, get it in shape. The finger, remember when God did the thing where he touched the finger? Well, I just got to visualize God touching my finger, and then I can touch the board. I'll just visualize the board as God, because after all, computers are smarter.
think they're getting to be. I don't like. Most people don't think about it, but they actually teach you arithmetic in grade school to teach you a method of thinking. Well, that doesn't necessarily work with computers and computer programming. So if you think about it, every time they modify your computer and you get another, oh, I got an update. You didn't get an update. You got some other way for them to screw you out of money. But all these computer programs is to teach you the way to think like the computer. And you know what? Computers didn't come up with the atomic bomb, the automobile, trips to the moon. It was people that were not thinking like computers. That's the one thing that I think maybe they'll keep a few of us around once they take over.
Hey, did computers come up with taxes, though? Because every time I go to the accountant, he uses a computer programmer to do the taxes, so maybe it's the computers are getting a cut.
Touche. I hadn't thought about that, but as always, John, you go right to the left elbow of the problem, not to the heart, not to the brain, to the left elbow. What do you got? Oh, turn in the. Good idea.
Yeah, let's see.
There, come on, you can do it. There you go.
I turned the fan on, the fan of doom. Let's see, and I don't want to freeze us out, so I want to lower it down.
You have to understand, folks, we're in a locked room. Actually, I hadn't thought about. We're actually in a padded room right now.
Yeah. Let me show you. Here,
are we really doing a program, or are we just kidding ourselves?
See all the pads up there, the rubber pads?
Yeah. See,
we're in a padded room. They somehow they got it into our heads in the insane asylum that we don't touch the computers.
This reminds me of the story of a friend of mine. Years ago, I knew a guy actually worked at a home for the mentally impaired. And he would tell us funny stories. Like, for example, one time they took two people that both said they were God. They took two people that, they said they were God. And they put them in the same room to see what would happen. And the one looked at the other one and said, I'm God. The other one says, hi, Dad. True story.
And the terrible thing is, it's true, The terrible thing is it's true. Sometimes the crazy people are more sane than us.
Well, if you think the crazy people, if you don't think that the crazy people are running things, you had better open your eyes. Like Spike Lee says, wake up.
Yeah, every time I wake up, it's just these Darwin Awards keep me awake because I don't want to be on Darwin.
Speaking of that, as a lead-in from giving somebody our Play with My Chicken award, I don't know, what did I call it? I forgot. But
Choke the chicken.
Choking our chicken. Sorry, buddy. There's literally an honorable mention here in your first Darwin Award we were talking about. So hit the button and...
Yeah, and back to host. Another word for host is parasite. And as long as I think of myself as a parasite, I think I'll be able to connect that finger in the button.
We ever think about the fact that ghost and host are only one letter different?
And toast, too.
Toast rhymes with it, yeah.
Toast.
And most.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather be
Which
most.
means nothing but.
Okay.
And boast.
Now, some people, they want to have a big thing to aspire to in their life, and anyway, organ donors, terrible thing to aspire to be. 2 dirt bikes, 2 drivers, and 2 passengers, 0 helmets, and 0 headlights.
Excuse me, John, but if it was a fish was your passenger, would that be a passenger?
Oh, gosh. and a new moon. 4 friends were tearing around on private land where helmets and lights are not required. The Highway Patrol says the 2 couples were killed when their bikes collided between 1:30 and 3:30 a.m. in Modesto, California. California, why is that not a surprise? Emergency room workers have a name for people who ride dirt bikes without a helmet. They're called future organ donors. And that is the only career now possible for Thomas, Michael, Kelly, and Cynthia. So remember, if you don't know what you want to be and you can't make a decision, get a dirt bike with no lights and with no helmets and just drive at night.
Well, you know what's funny, John? I ride a motorcycle, been riding one for decades. And because we didn't always have to wear helmets, they weren't legal, we weren't required. They used to call us organ donors. The problem was, I had one emergency room worker tell me that if you're dumb enough to get on a motorcycle and ride around without a helmet, we don't want your organs because you're just too dumb to exist.
Well, you just don't tell the person who's taking the organ donor that the guy's really stupid.
Well, in this day and age, it's hard to tell the difference between stupid and ignorant. You know that? I ran into two, and I don't think they were stupid, but two very ignorant people just in the short drive over here. One of them decided to make a right-hand turn from the left-hand lane, held up all the traffic, stopped in the lane, held up a whole line of traffic. We had to wait for him to make up his mind to go over to his right, even though he was all the way on the left. I prefer to attribute it to stupidity, but I think he was just ignorant. And then another one kept me at a traffic light when I was trying to turn because they were too busy watching their phone. They couldn't watch the light.
Well, really, I believe they should put tasers in the phone. And then when the police see you texting, when instead of making a phone call, they can just press that button and tase you. Oh, except then you'd crash the car. Never mind.
See, I've always believed there should be a shut up and drive option. I mean, I understand that there are emergencies, but I cannot think of one emergency for you to be able to use your cell phone while you're in the car that wouldn't allow you to stop the car. Because I think once the car starts, the phone stops. There's actually that option in some places that you cannot use your phone in the car, and I think that's makes sense.
Yeah, for texting down in Oklahoma, but not for talking. A lot of the phones got the hands-free thing. The cars got it. And you can talk while you're staring off into the distance. And what's great about that is when you're at a light and you're talking off into the distance, the person sitting next to you at the light, they can sit there and look at you. And they're wondering, is that guy a real psychotic or what?
I got something for you, John. I know people that can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I don't want them talking and driving a car at the same time because that's even harder.
Well, I'll tell you what else is hard. Pressing the control board and talking at the same time.
And then when you get the board that doesn't like me and decides, we're going to make him look dumb, and it won't work when I press it. I swear one of these days I'm going to bring in a ball-peen hammer because that's one of those hammers that's got the ball on one side and it's kind of like a thumb. So I can, instead of tapping the control board with my finger, I'll tap it with the ball peen. I bet you it listens to me after that.
Well, you know what, Art? I think it's how you touch. You have to touch just like that and let go. You can't touch and hold because then the computer thinks you're getting touchy-feely, and it doesn't like that. So, okay, I'll send it back to you and I'll show it works. There, it worked.
That's... I worry about you sometimes. I really worry about you. In fact, let me see.
Yeah.
Some cause happiness wherever they go. Others cause happiness whenever they go.
No, that wasn't the Carl comment I wanted to bring out.
Okay, let me try this, Carl, because I want to push the button too.
Would you break it?
Oh, no, hang on. You know what I did? I was telling you how you have to touch like that. I jiggled, and I touched it twice. I'll try it again to see if...
You ever notice some people's T-shirts make more sense than they do?
Yeah. See, my T-shirt makes more sense than I do. But That's not a high hurdle to travel for me.
Well, at least it doesn't say Manchester United like you were some kind of a Tory or an Englishman. Or Canuckian, Canadian.
Yeah, you know how everybody has a vision about heaven. You know, you're sitting around, and you're doing the, you know, you're singing and you're having going to church and all that. The Canadians' version of heaven is an ice arena, and they're playing hockey.
Yeah. And the worst part about it is, you're probably right.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Now, see, I told you if you do it right, it'll sound like you're going cock-a-doodle-doo. So,
Okay.
I caught this. I got to bring this one out. It just tickled the heck out of me. In Seattle, Washington could become the first state to legalize human composting. KIRO-TV reports a bill that would allow for recomposition, and I hate people that do the air quotes, is moving through the state legislature. Well, this has already been proposed years ago in a movie, but in the movie they called it the end product Soylent Green. Look it up. Google it, millennials.
Yes, and I'm a more egalitarian. Is that the right
Egalitarian.
word? Egalitarian guy, because I've actually turned the control board so Art can see it too. And you know why? Because I might screw it up.
Yeah, but guess what? Now that it sees that I'm here, it didn't know I was here before. Now it sees I'm here. It'll start not working for you too.
Oh, yeah, right.
So.
Okay, you want to hear another
Please.
Darwin Award? Now, you know how gasoline has gotten expensive and a lot of people are converting their vehicles to natural gas. You know, so this guy, he's an electrician. He knows what he's doing, eh? And
Wait a minute. He knows what he's doing, eh?
anyway, he was in Malaysia, and now don't talk down because he was from another country, but he converted his car and he did it really good to liquid petroleum gas. He took one of those propane tanks, the big ones that you use for a barbecue, and he put that under his seat in the car and hooked it up and ran it well. So, you know, he finally uses up all the gas, and then he goes to the gas station and they have CNG gas, and he didn't understand what that meant. CNG means compressed natural gas. So he hooked up his vehicle to that tank and filled it up. Well, compressed natural gas has 100 times the pressure requirement. So that electrician suddenly became a missing voltage, and the truck was gone too.
Well, I bet he got his life sparked up with that, didn't he?
Yeah, you know.
In fact, I bet he got a charge out of that. Oh, that's bad. I mean, I'm sorry that the poor guy didn't make it, but come on. Anybody that wouldn't at least bother to figure out the difference between propane and CNG, is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, I do HVAC, and that's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And of course, once I found out that R meant refrigeration, I always wanted to go HVAC R. And us guys that work on initials, we're a little smarter. We know what CNG means because we've been taught you can fill up a steel tank too much and turn it into a bomb. And unfortunately, you're standing right next to it. So we've learned the hard way because all the dumb HVAC guys have finished their stuff off. Back to you, Art.
Well, that's kind of a Darwinian type of thing. If you're not smart enough to do the job, it ends up doing away with you. It's and I'm not trying to be funny here. It makes a lot of sense. Hey, you're too dumb to be an HVAC guy. Boom. I feel like I'm Jeff Dunham with Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. Jingle bombs.
Well, but the government's working against us now because they put all those labels on hammers, warning that you can hurt yourself with it because it's hard. I mean, I don't think there should be.
What's next? Labels on tomatoes so you can't throw them at people?
Oh, yeah. Although I'd like to go to that thing I think it's in Spain or Bastille country, that tomato fight war where they throw all those tomatoes at each other. I would love to go there, but I'd take some Pepto-Bismol there because I might wind up eating too many tomatoes.
See, I'd like to go to that place. See, I told you, once the machine sees I'm here, it finally worked?
Yeah, it finally worked.
I'd like to go to the thing, I believe it's in India, where the one festival, they spray the different colored powders everywhere, and then the people get all the different kind of... That looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that is fun. And I'd also like to go to Mardi Gras down there in New Orleans, or for living on the wild side down to Rio de Janeiro. But I'd need somebody, a bodyguard, somebody in the audience, come forward with 3 tickets to take me and Art and yourself down there to Mardi Gras. And also you can protect us, 'cause since we're movie stars, you'll have to protect us from all the women.
Speak for yourself about the movie star thing. I don't know. Sometimes you kind of get off on a tangent, John, and you just kind of go and go and go. And I'm trying to grab the reins, or stick my foot on the brake pedal, and I just can't quite reach.
Yeah, I definitely am a little bit enjoying myself. So, yes, Art, I am enjoying.
That's my fault for giving you the heady sensation of power of running things that you're slowly but surely abusing.
Abuse. Now that's something I can get into. But the only problem is that sometime instead of being
It's not that kind of a show, John. It's not that kind of a show.
Sometimes I just want to be abused instead of be the abuser.
That's just as bad. We'll move on. You got another Darwin Award. I think maybe you better keep going there, fella.
Okay. Oh, here it is. They titled it Into the Abyss. And this is unconfirmed by Darwin, so somebody might have been telling a story. An enterprising lumberman had felled a large tree and needed to haul it up a steep embankment. So he jacked up the rear end of his pickup and swapped one of his rear tires for a bare rim. He attached one end of the rope to the rim and the other end of the rope to the felled tree. He put the pickup into gear, expecting the rim to act as a makeshift rope crank and pull the tree up the embankment, saving him lots of sweat. Now, a great idea? Not if you're reading it here. You see, the tree vastly outweighed the car. The man was standing with one foot on the ground and the other foot on the accelerator. Well, there was a song about that, one step over the road and
one step over the line, sweet Jesus.
And there's also a song about knocking on heaven's door with one step. Anyway, he gunned the engine. He didn't just step on it and ease it. He just figured more power is better,
Give him hell, Harry.
And so he gunned the engine. The tree acted like an anchor, and the truck yanked itself backwards. The open door rammed into him, and he was swept over the embankment along with the pickup. Like Niagara Falls, he went over the edge. When the dust settled, our lumberman had entered the great beyond, but his escapade served as a warning to others. The next lumberman cut up the tree where it laid and carried it off. Now that's a better way. If you're not sure what's heavier,
Once again, like Spike Lee says, wake up. Biggest reason we started this whole thing is to have a few laughs, but doggone it, to make people open their eyes. And like I said, was a couple shows back, engage your brain before you move. People do so many just thoughtless things. And the fun part is when it backfires on them like that.
And for me, I always make sure that I don't talk much when I walk, because then I've got my remaining brain cells keeping me from becoming another Darwinian.
God. But you know what? And we're drawn down. I look at the clock.
Oh yeah, it's we only got a little time left to go. Well, did you want to wrap any? Here's my new buddy. I get to. Do I get to take him home with me tonight?
A chicken, a few words. No, you're perverted, man. It just scared me. Put that chicken down. Put down the chicken and step away.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I put the chicken down.
Hey, he's not that kind of chicken.
Oh, man. You know.
I ever tell you a story about my little grandson who was about 2 years old. He was over one day and I was getting everything prepped to make dinner, help my wife. I had a raw chicken, so I stuck my hand up inside the chicken and I danced up and down the counter, scared that poor little kid so bad he wouldn't eat it. Sometimes humor can backfire.
Yeah, it can. Sometimes you got to be careful when the cop's going to give you a ticket. You don't want to make the wrong jokes, you know.
And again, it's, engage your brain, because there's another saying. And I already forgot it. Boy, maybe I shouldn't have engaged my brain. It's starting to slip out of gear much too badly. Oh, I know what it was. Be careful what you wish for. You may get it.
Yeah, well, I'll give you one for the road. Oh, this one is for the road. Just because you see it online doesn't mean it's a good idea. Cameron, 18, was joyriding in a shopping cart as he held on to a moving SUV. An eyewitness said, "It's irresponsible behavior, but what do you expect from kids?" The car and the cart went over a speed bump, and the cart overturned, ejecting its occupant, who was not wearing the little seatbelt or a helmet. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
There we go with the helmets again.
Yeah, you ever seen those kids with the soft skulls and the babies, and they have to put helmets on until their brains get harder or their skulls get harder? Well, I could use a helmet some days, and we're up.
I think it's too late for you, John. I think it's too late.
Okay, Art, and wrap up your life experience. Oh, it's me. I get to wrap up my life experience in 90 seconds. Well, I'll tell you, make sure when you got a bottle that you're opening that's already been opened once, make sure that it's gone through the dishwasher and water and it doesn't have any color in it. Don't be drinking stuff with color in it.
And another little life hack, learn to say, with all the sincerity you can fake, "I'm sorry, I forgot."
Okay, and
Did that do it?
Yeah. Good night, all.